So a new D tackle offer out yesterday, D. I'm bringing up the tweet right here. But J.D. Hill from Mission Viejo, teammates with Canes commit Vance Spafford, who's been banged up, has missed some time this year. But J.D. Hill, he's blown up a bit here. Recently had 5 sacks last game. Arizona State offer, Utah offer, Oregon State offer, all within the last like 48 hours here, and then throw Miami into the mix there. I was messaging him last night. He told me loves Miami's history, definitely wants to take a visit out here. So looks like that is, working towards happening here. And I'm going to bring up the clips, but it's been a great start to the season for him.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this guy. I think the first thing to look at, obviously, you're saying Northern Arizona commit. With Miami, we're top 5 in the country. We're doing this again. I think the key is there are guys that are legitimate senior risers. Kellen Wiley would be an example, somebody who ended up fighting Texas 4 at the end, a 4-star player who was ranked kind of similar to this in the beginning of the year. So first thing is to watch the offers. He's getting offers from the Utahs, the Arizona States. Everybody in that region is starting to offer him. So this is really, at a minimum, a Big 12 player. I think ultimately going to be a Big 10, ACC, SEC type of player. But you watch him here, man. The size doesn't jump out at you. He's playing some real offensive lines, some big ones, Santa Margarita in particular. But, man, he is twitchy as can be. His change of direction, Pete, kind of catches my attention because he's going side to side. Look at that. I mean, his side to side, which is important as a defensive tackle who wants to penetrate, is exceptional. He's clearly very productive. This is a 3-game highlight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the change of direction right here. Look at the motor. Look at this hit right here.
I like this.
Boom.
Look like Justin Scott against Notre Dame.
That's right. Spin move. I mean, he's doing some really impressive stuff on tape. You see he's standing up for a wider guy who looks. He's not the tallest guy, but he looks, he probably is 270. I buy that. But the twitch and the change of direction, the fact that he's standing up, 2-point stance, getting after it, I'm very, very impressed. My only question, as like anybody else, is going to be, what's the size like? Because there's a difference between like small and sturdy, and then like small we can work with. You got to see it kind of in person to really know. And sometimes these guys will come up business, and you'll be like, oh man, this guy's bigger than I thought. His family's big, and sometimes it's the opposite.
I just think we have to get used to understanding this is what Heatherman's looking for.
Yeah.
He wants this athletic type. And that's something that we'll see how it works when you get to facing certain teams, right, that can match you in the trenches. And there's only a handful, I think, that you really worry about in that sense. But if you want to get to where Miami wants to get to, then that's going to be a factor. So we'll see. I think that's the sort of guy that he wants. But the burst is really good there. Listed as 6'2", 270. So I don't know what his verified height and weight is, but the burst is really, really good.
Yeah, the tape looks the way you want it to look. There's still some unanswered questions, which is going to be the size. And then you said verified measurables, and how athletic is he? Because right now, looking at it on tape, he looks extremely athletic. He played basketball. He had a track and field, throwing, shot put, discus. So all those things that you like to see from a just other sports standpoint, you're seeing that with this kid, J.D. Hill.
Nick West says looks like Ed Oliver.
Yeah, and look, the far we've seen guys like this that go to the MAC and do nothing, and we've seen guys like this that go first round. Obviously, it's a wide range. If you're on the positive side of the range, you're looking at guys like Ed Oliver, you're looking at guys like Kalijah Cansey, right, who we saw down here. I personally saw him, and I did not think he was big enough to do what he's doing. Like, first round pick, I did not see that.
He's the outlier of outliers.
I thought, and I like the player a lot, I thought you bring him in, he'll play fullback for you on offense, and he'll be like a pass rusher on defense. Kind of like the guy from Ole Miss. Remember that? What's his name?
JJ Peggs. He was drafted last year.
I think you could see something like that where he's athletic enough to be like a fullback for you, and then you could just put him on pass rush downs, like 3rd and 10. Obviously, he's way more than that first-round defensive tackle, so I was wrong there. But these are freak athletes. Is this guy a freak athlete? He looks potentially like that on film, but there's process. You got to see him in person. Are there measurables that you know about? Is he running a 4.6, 4.7, or is he 4.8, or is he playing faster than 8 times? These are all things you kind of got to see when you're dealing with an potential outlier prospect. But the film looks good. The production looks good. The offer list is starting to follow the film, so it's not like, hey, you're going out on a limb and saying we're taking a Northern Arizona kid. this guy is going to be a power 4 player when it's all said and done.
You get in on it early enough, but you're also there with other programs, so you don't feel like you're going on too much of a limb.
Yeah, and these guys, if you look at the track record of some of their 3-star prospects that they brought in, they've got some really good ones on the defensive side of the ball. Frederick being a big one. McConaughey, we'll see. I mean, he's been dealing with injuries, but he did play as a true freshman. Bobby Pruitt is now a very big part, and he's like a borderline 4, but he's a 3-star player. Wasn't recruited by Alabama and Auburn that hard for how good he is. You're seeing him get on the field now. Kellen Wiley was somebody they identified early, and is now he ended up being a 4-star, but when we offered him, he was not a 4-star, and he's going to be a major factor with this team going forward. Dylan Day, you see him being part of the rotation. So these guys are pretty good at finding these guys. Obviously, you want 5-stars all over the place, like Armando Blunt, Justin Scott, etc. But you want guys like this as well. And I'm interested to watch them. I can tell you this: they are working extremely hard on defensive tackle. I've been at the building and I've seen people watching film on different defensive tackles. They're trying to get this one right.
Yeah, they're scouring for sure.
And there's 2 types of defensive tackles. There are the no-brainer 5-stars, the Justin Simmons, the Chris Jones, Justin Scott for us, Dexter Lawrence. Those are the guys that populate a lot of the first-rounders and the elite players in the NFL. I always say this is a 5-star position, defensive tackle, because there's only so many guys with the size and athleticism moving around. The other side of it is there are those late bloomers that you just got to catch on the way up. Again, this is the far side of the outcome spectrum. But Aaron Donald, 3-star, Kalijah Cansey, 3-star. Ed Oliver, I think, was a big recruit. But like those guys, they do exist. And then, lighter versions of those guys exist. You got to find them. I think back to Deadrin Sanat. Remember that guy, Pete?
Of course, the
Mockley kid, smaller guy, and actually went to USF. Who were playing this
Tito Bonacci, who was on with us earlier, was always big on him out of high school, and he ended up going to USF, and he always threw that one in my face.
Yeah,
I liked him though too. He was so squatty that you didn't know what was gonna become of him.
But good player. I think he got drafted
third round.
Fourth round. If this would have been the portal era, he would have been one of those guys that would have been like getting a huge bag in the portal, as a senior. So that's the kind of thing that you want to try to catch at this level. A rising player who might not have everything perfect, that they're stamped as a 5-star, but there's enough there that they can help you at this level that we're currently at, which is a top 5 team in the country. You don't want to take a step backwards, particularly at defensive tackle. One guy I should mention who's visiting this weekend, and I want to make sure I don't butcher the name here, Pete, but from the West Coast of Florida, make sure I got the name right here, FAU commit. And someone's going to help me in the chat. But we do have a defensive tackle who's committed to FAU. That FAU commit is unlikely to stick. Frederick Saintas out of Naples, Florida. Let's pull up his film, Pete, if you don't mind. So Frederick Saintas, this is an FAU commit who was already offered as part of this process that uncovered J.D. Hill, who we were just talking about. Oh, by the way, we got Jose here. You got a second? Jose, hop in here before we talk about Frederick Saintas. Jose, how you doing?
Pretty good. It's awesome. Nice to you guys are here Friday morning.
Bad weekend for Key West, man. They got something coming down for them.
They do. Good old boys from Berlin are heading down there to tonight, 7:00 show. So hopefully we bring back a W.
So a lot of big groups been coming through here at Duffy's Tavern, obviously under new leadership. You being a big part of that. So you're seeing a lot of groups of high school friends, old college friends, work people, just like fantasy football drafts. Johnny Lagoon says, "I got to get a Duffy's Ale tonight." You know where to find Jose right there.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about something that's happening with this new.
One of the good things about us now is that we're reminding everybody we're open. There's a lot of talk out there that we're closed, and no, man, we're here. We're here for the next 20 years for sure.
I can attest that you were here.
Yeah, last night was a good explanation of how we're home. For a lot of people, there was a power outage in Coral Gables, and we were serving burgers till 12:30 last night. We're here for the community. We're here for the Canes. This is your home. Everybody's welcome. Like big old Wayne used to say, grandmothers and kid friendly. That's what we're here. We're home of the Hurricanes. You guys are welcome. We've got a great showing for the UM game this Saturday for USF. Guys, welcome. Come down. You know, we've got a lot of groups that are booking up. That's another thing. You know, we've got a great venue. We've got a place where we can fit 100 guys out there. You know, have your own party. You know, anywhere from bachelor parties to business parties to anything you want. You know, watch parties and stuff. We can take care of you guys, and it makes it feel like it's your backyard at home. You know, great TVs. We just spent a ton of money on redoing TVs. The sound here is incredible. You know, we had a lot of complaints before that the sound wasn't that good. This and this and that. You know, the great thing is that we're not touching anything else other than the things that make you feel closer to home. You know, that's what Duffy's is about. And we appreciate, you, Danny and Peter. You know, this is your home. You know, CanesInSight, this is your home, and we love that. So thank you.
Happy to be home. Well, look at that, man. I gotta bring you. I'm not gonna do this spot anymore. I'm just gonna call you and put the cell phone to the cameraman. But hey, listen, good luck this weekend against Key West. I know you got something going on, but man, we're fired up about this partnership. The chat's fired up. People were saying they want to see the steak and potatoes. You know, they want to.
Johnny Lagoon's asking, do you guys have the CW? I'm telling you, I was here a couple weeks ago. They had like 3rd division women's soccer on here.
Yes.
They have every channel. I can promise you that.
You know, it was a little bit heated up last week versus Bethune-Cookman. DirecTV decided not to take out the show, you know, the game for like the first quarter, and it was like everybody was on their iPads watching it on their iPads, and we couldn't bring it up on the screen. And all of a sudden it came up, and this place roared, you know, during a Bethune-Cookman game, which was excellent. You know, great showing out here. But yeah, we will be showing CW out here. Guys that can't make it out there and stuff like that, by all means, come and grab a burger here. You know, and you know, you guys are welcome. This is your home. I really would not emphasize that so much. This is, you know, welcome home here.
And we got Florida next week, and Nick West says he'll be here in Florida next week for next week's game. He's coming through. So I know a lot of you guys will be in town. Duffy's Tavern. Don't just search Duffy's Tavern. So
Clutch says he's sold. He's going to be there. Matthew Owen says I want to eat there, man. So we're filling it up, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat.
And I do want to say thank you to all your Canes connection, your CanesInSight guys out there. We had a lot of guys at the Notre Dame weekend that came from out of town and came specially to come and say hi because they heard about us on CanesInSight. A special shout out to my families out in Fort Myers. You know, you guys, excellent. And to the students, you know, I'm going to publicly say it out there. You show your student ID, you got 10% here. All right, students, all students, active students. You know, you show your student ID and you got 10% here. So welcome all and have a good time, and let's go beat the Conks, baby.
Let's go, baby. Key West, I know it's coming. Appreciate you.
All right, guys.
Always good. Joel Warren says I was in Duffy Saturday before Notre Dame, and it was like stepping back to my mid-'80s U days. Awesome, yeah. Shout out Joel. Stephen Archie asking, are they vegan friendly? They are, actually. I got the veggie burger here, but they got the big burgers too for everybody else. Nick West flying in from Oregon. I didn't know you're from Oregon, man. Just shout out to Oregon. Like I said, Milwaukee, Oregon is where my dad grew up.
Namesake.
I got to get out there. Nick West, there it is.
Man, great numbers today. Over 1,300 live with us. Remember to hit that like
electric
button.
Juice, man. You're feeling it in the crowd right now.
Subscribe to the channel. Anything else we need to get to here? Oh, Frederick, our boy.
Yeah, let's get to Frederick Saintas here real quick. So we talked about JD Hill, the new defense.
Do you want to see his highlights from last year, or he has some new stuff?
Let's see it. Let's see what's going on. I want to see what we got here. But Frederick Saintas, so this is a 3-star player committed to FAU, but that's one of these deals where not going to last. A lot of schools are in on him right now, big schools. He's going to be a D1 player.
So I'll say this: the guy who's I'll just add this context real quick. The defensive line coach at FAU right now is Devin Santana, who was on Miami's staff last year. Was just named by, I think it was 247 as one of the top 30 under 30, rising staff members in the country. And I know that Mario thinks very highly of him. So I'm going to guess that they have a very close eye on FAU's offer and commit list.
Man, this looks good, actually. I'm watching. This is the first few games of this year. So similar multi-sport background to JD Hill. I think JD Hill is a basketball player. Saintas is a wrestler, but also both those guys throw shot put, throw discus. This guy's swim move is nasty. He looks good. I'm impressed with just the kind of initial eye test here. I'd seen his junior film. So this guy was born in Haiti. So this is a guy who is not the most polished player from living in America his whole life. So you see the upside of this guy as he continues to grow at the position. He's private school level. So there's just a lot of untapped upside with a player like this. And I think the body is there, 6'3.5",
Good pushback there.
Yeah, you see some raw ability here. See him on special teams. Look at him run down the field. Is he going to make the tackle here? Let's see big number 55. See big number 55 changing directions. Good motor. Yeah, a lot to like here. This is all this year.
No. This is
Oh, this
last
last
year.
year. Okay.
So I'll pull it.
No, this is good. This is all right. It's a defensive end. You see him getting off blocks, doing his thing. He's going to be here this weekend. So this is a big opportunity for us to show what our defensive line could do. I'm popping up back here. Where did Duffy's go? Pete, hop back in. There he is. There he is, hopping back in. Look at that. I like this. I like this slogan right here. I guess start saying this. Look at this right here. Where the elite meet to eat.
Yeah, that's the original slogan, man.
Love it.
So we have some highlights here against Evangelical Christian High School.
Yeah, so private schools, this is not going to be the Centrals of the world or even the Broward private schools, right? This is going to like the American Heritages and all that. This is going to be a lower level of competition. But defensive tackles are rare. They're just not that many guys with this body type, with this skill. Johnny Lagoon says Big Fred 6'4", 275. He looks pretty big. I wouldn't be shocked.
So this is the one game clips here.
All right, nice. The crowd saying that I thought it was an acid for a second. That was crazy.
Yeah, you might be.
Smooth transition. That was a trip. All right, here we go. Let's see Big Fred here. Oh man, nice push and pull there. Look at that. Get in there.
It's kind of difficult to.
Yeah, he's knocking guys back.
Not great competition though.
No,
man.
it's not.
This is tough.
He's fast though. You see him moving. He's fast. I like his just the quick twitch you see for a taller guy. He can move. I don't know if he can move exactly as well as JD Hill, who we saw a second ago, but he's not as big as him. So, anyways, name to watch there. Miami Hurricane Team Store, by the way, if you're loading up your electric juice for the game on Saturday, you also want to get your gear. They got 20% off shirts. You can also use promo code INSIGHT20 for 20% off anything in the store, your first item, aside from the NIL stuff, which that goes all the way to the players. But pretty much anything else, INSIGHT20 gets you 20% off your first item on top of the deals for the shirts, which are 20% off across the board. So you can get a hat, 20% off, and get a bunch of shirts, 20% off. MiamiHTS.com. Miami Hurricane Team Store located right across the street from the University of Miami. Shout out to Harry. Shout out to Jeremy. Oh, Johnny Lagoon's posting stuff I didn't even know about. Is there a meet and greet on Sunday?
Yeah, there is. Sharmar Brown and a couple others.
Let's talk about – there it is right there. Let's talk about that one then. Let's go. So, okay.
I'm bringing it up. I got it.
So, thank you. Here it is. Oh, the running backs. Perfect. Thank you for bringing it up. So, Sunday, after a victorious, hopefully, performance against USF.
Does the event get canceled if we lose?
I don't know. I don't think so. Didn't last year. Sunday at 12 to 1 p.m. Oh, we didn't lose any home games. Sunday at 12 to 1 p.m. So 12 to 1 p.m. Sunday, September 14th. You got Marty Brown, Mark Fletcher, Gerard Pringle, all at the Miami Hurricane Team Store right across the street from the University of Miami. That is Marty Brown, Mark Fletcher, Gerard Pringle. 1 hour, 12 to 1 p.m., September 14th. Set your calendars for that Sunday, right before all the NFL games. Go to the team store. Johnny Lagoon's been to a bunch of these. They're always great. You're talking about, just meeting these guys. They take pictures with your kids, with you, sign autographs. It's just a great experience, a very intimate setting. It's not this giant convention center where they're just signing and kind of handing it off. It is a really, really cool experience. They're at the Miami Hurricane Team Store, MiamiHTS.com. You want to buy the gear, you can't be there, but if
you
want
can
to
meet
Johnny
Johnny.
Lagoon,
Yeah, I was gonna say you can meet Johnny. So let's add Johnny Lagoon to the list there. I think that might bring a few more people in.
Yes, sir. So check that event out. It should be fun. As always, like and subscribe. Almost 1,400.
I was thinking the same thing here, man. Did someone not? What happened? Why isn't Jordan Lyon included in the mix, man?
I think he already did one of these, if I recall. Or maybe he's busy. Who knows? He'll be there. Look, they get everybody through there. So, yeah, man. Mark your calendars after a victorious game tomorrow.
Mind games from Mario, man. Mind games from Mario.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be doing the shows from the Lickin' all the way through the pregame right there in Miami Gardens across the street from the stadium. We'll be posted up all the way until game time. So come and stop by if you're headed to the game. Grab some food, load up on your carbs before you get into that stadium so you don't pay $50 for chicken wings. You can get them right there at the Licking across the street. We'll be there before we go into the game, and we'll be recording shows live. So looking forward to seeing all you guys tomorrow. Go Canes.
Go Canes. Hit that like and subscribe to the channel.